Good afternoon, students. I told no, I'll be posting two videos today. First one is already I posted. That is actually span of control, and this one is second video, centralization and decentralization. In your syllabus, it will be there only as decentralization, but we'll be seeing both centralization and decentralization. So the centralized organization is that the authority will be making important decisions. It will be retained only by the top level managers, where no middle level or lower level subordinates can influence in decision making. Only the top level managers can take the important decisions. So they will not be giving any authority to any other levels of managers. So this is actually called as centralized organization, and decentralized organization is that the authority to make important decisions will be delegated to the managers at all levels in the hierarchy. They will be delegating the uh, work to each and every zones or each and every manager in their levels of hierarchy, and they will be asking them to take decisions, some important decisions which will be consulted both by the middle level and top level management to make effective decision making. This is actually decentralized organization. The next slide will be showing one picture. What is actually centralization and decentralization? Forces. What is the reason for going for centralization or decentralization? Why centralization will be there every time? Because there will be organizational crisis. Management every time they'll be thinking to desire for control, then increase consistency, and there will be always reduce in costs. This is actually a very big advantage of centralization. But decentralization, it will be always having diversity. Then every time there will be complexity because of size, and everybody will be thinking for empowerment. Everybody want to have some powers to their levels. So that is what here desire for empowerment is. So people will be talking on nowadays famous topic wherever you go in public, people will be talking about women empowerment. Women empowerment is giving rights and authorities for that particular persons to take decisions. This is actually a very big advantage of decentralization. Then this one is we should study when we are talking about decentralization. People will be talking about very important thing is delegation of authority. So what is the reason for decentralizing the authorities? It encourages the development of professional managers. So normally, if anybody is having lots of skills in their level, so it can be developed. It will be encouraging because of decentralization, and the managers are able to exercise more autonomy, but it can lead to a competitive climate. So where they'll be having lots of autonomy, the managers, but because of autonomy, there will be also a competitive climate. If it is healthy competitive, it is acceptable. If it is not healthy competition means so it will be a problem for the organization. Then reasons for centralized authorities, if the managers are not skilled enough and they'll be in need of further training, and also it will be going for a high expensive method. And if the administrative costs, if you see, there should be new divisions need to be formed. That and all it will be reduced here. No need of extra administrative costs and all. Decentralization means again they'll be talking about duplication of works. Okay, so whatever one person is doing, again he'll be doing in this in this particular branch once again. So again duplication of functions will be there, and arguments for centralization and decentralization. 1 minute, I'll come back. Actually, there is one picture I forgot to put in the slide. Okay, no problem. So we'll see actually. Arguments for centralization. It can facilitate coordination because only one person or one top hierarchical person will be having a control. So they can expect very good facilitate coordination, and also it ensures the decisions are consistent with organizational objectives. So as it is controlled only by single or two persons, so it will be consistent. The decisions will be consistent with the organizational objectives. According to the organizational objectives, it can avoid again duplication of activities by various subunits within the organization. If you are splitting the work, no, again it will be going for duplication of activities. So the work will be repeated. Then by concentrating power and authority in one individual or management team, centralization can give top level managers the meaning to bring about major organizational changes. If one person is having authority, he will be having very good. He'll be having knowledge about. He should have the knowledge about the organization, so that he can give always a change in the organization. Keep on change. You should not follow for follow it for more than 2 years. They should be having a continuous change, because if centralization is there, it can be done. And then reasons for decentralization. So top management is it will be overburdened, so the decision making it will be affected. Then it always motivational research always favors only decentralization, because easily people can be monitored in decentralization concept, and decentralization permits greater flexibility and also rapid response in environmental change. So decentralization also, uh, I told you in the previous topic, it will be very good in better decision making, and also it increases control. So when you're talking about span of control, no, so limited number of people are there under one headship means there will be very good control will be there in decentralization concept. And then limitations of centralization is development of low-level managers are hampered. An opportunity given to exercise initiative and judgment is negligible, and it is also costly effort. And the main point is it will be always decision making delays, because uh, sometimes one person means you should consult with many people, and to take the effective decision making, it will take some time. And also, it is also costly, and it creates problem of effective communication. So the effective communication, because of one particular authority is having the power, so there will be problem in communication. Communication gap will be there in this particular concept, and no scope of specialization for any person. So as a person may have to look into many things. So only one particular person is there means he might be specialized in one particular area, but because of centralization concept, you should also look into some other areas also which he is not specialized. This is a big disadvantage. Then limitations to decentralization. So it creates problems in coordination between different units of the organization. So I don't know, whenever decentralization is there, because of power oriented empowerment, so every time there will be lack of coordination. So everybody will be thinking that I will be making the decision, the other person will be thinking that I will be making the decision. So there will be lack of coordination, and it may administrative. Normally, if you're going for decentralization, administrative expense it will be very high, and every time when you're going for decentralization, you should appoint qualified managers for different divisions, and different policies and procedures for each unit in decentralized organization also it will occur, and inconsistencies may arise in organizational activities in decentralization concept. Then examples of centralized organization is dictatorship. So even only in dictatorship, the centralized organization is possible, and every time it will be the communication will be followed from top to bottom. So it also we can tell dictatorship. And second one is military. So governments is having only this particular structure. So if any decision want to be taken means it will be only from higher authority. Nobody cannot in the middle can take any decisions. Then televisions. So this one if you want we can explain. These shows are created by centralized organization. Please it is applicable only for uh, government related televisions. Okay. So you can see all Doordarshan why it has gone failure because it has not been decentralized. Only in few areas it is decentralized. In other majority of the parties only centralization is there in the particular television concept. And examples for decentralized organization is open source software and peer-to-peer software. So these are all the best example for decentralized organization where people will be the it is freely available that thousands of volunteers update it and nobody owns it. And this one is you people will be knowing no torrent downloads from numerous computers spread across the globe. So then terrorist cells, normally terrorist cells, it will be decentralized because one person cannot have a control. So each and every area there will be some different heads and they'll be taking care of that particular areas. And the internet it is also a decentralized organization example of our time. So that is for you people know internet. So it is deliberately created to overcome the limits of a centralized military command so that every time it is decentralized according to the hyperlink that connects all separate pages, websites, and networks. So these are all examples of both centralization and decentralization. So I think with this we have completed the topic in the third unit, centralization and decentralization. Thank you students for listening patiently for two videos in this session. Thank you.